Hello and welcome to a NHL 14 GM mode with the Phoenix / Arizona Coyotes. I know this is very late in NHL's 14 cycle to be starting up a GM series, but I want to get in the habit of making constant and regular videos before NHL 15 comes out, so this is a good way to practice. And also I fancy doing a GM mode with the Phoenix Coyotes because they're probably my second team at the moment because I like the way they play. They don't have any real superstars. Ekman Larsson is an emerging superstar. But apart from that, there's no real ticket seller, sort of franchise player. That's the word I'm looking for. So that's something we're going to see if we can address or at least work around with this GM mode. So let's not waste any time. Let's see what type of players we have to work with. And straight away, I can tell you that Ekman Larsson and Yandel are our two best overall players, and I think they're our two best offensive players as well. And I'll check that in the GM tracker later, which is very interesting. I like the idea of having these two both on the team. Yandel's still got a few more years before we even have to worry about him regressing. He's only just stopped growing, I'd say, and he's still signed for 3 more years, so when he gets to 30 his contract will run out. We can look to shift him in a few years time, but I like the idea of having Ekman Larsson on the first line and Ben Yandel on the second line with either a two-way or a defensive defenseman, and that way we can continue the Coyotes way of playing, which is basically everybody does everything, which these two players will be quite happy for. We can keep them, if we want to stack one power play line we can do and stick them on the point, or we can have them quarterbacking their own power play separately. Not quite decided what I want to do with that, but we cross that bridge when we get to it. So let's check out what our centres are looking like. We've actually got a pretty deep centre core. I think Martin Hansel is one of our best defensive players. I think he might be, in terms of both offensive and defensive combined stats, are actually our best player. Face-offs could be a little bit better. He's not very quick. I think he's probably listed as a second line centre, but in an ideal world I'd probably have him on the third line. Don't know if that would be a waste for him, but I don't want him on the first line because he's not really got enough speed or playmaking ability, but he would help a scorer's plus minus without question. Mike Ribeiro, probably going to get rid of Mike Ribeiro. He's got some fantastic playmaking ability. His skating's not bad either. His defense is better than I thought it was going to be, and obviously his awareness is good. So we could keep him possibly, but it's that 4 years at 5.5 that I don't like, and I think no, he shouldn't start regressing. Okay, so Mike Ribeiro is a so-and-so player. We can get rid of him, or we can keep him. I'm not too bothered. I don't know what his trading value is, but he could be a decent trade option. By the way, I've got the trade value on medium. The seller cap is on, obviously, and I thought put it on medium because if you put it on hard, the computer just don't make any trades. And I thought easy, I can just abuse medium. Hopefully there'll be a nice middle ground. The third best centre we have is Antoine Vermette. Again, much like Martin Hansel, we don't really have, apart from Ribeiro, a good putt skills and shooting centre. But I do like Vermette's speed and defense, actually. So if we could stick Vermette and Ribeiro on a line and then someone like Mikhail Bodka with them, that might actually have to be our first line to start with. Yeah, I think that might be our first line to start with. And then obviously depth, we have Brandon McMillan, which it looks like he could be a good third line player for us. He's got some very good discipline and some speed. And then the regressing Chip Shearer and Halpburn, and Klinkhammer's not going to get any better. So fourth line centres we have an abundance for. I'll probably keep Jeff Halpburn there just for the face-offs, and he's very cheap. Moving on to the left wing, we have Mikhail Bodka. He's still only 23 years old, so a couple of good seasons could get a lot better. He's very quick as well, so if we had Vermette and him and Bodka sent on the wings to Ribeiro's centre, that could be very nice as our first option on the line, or as a line. Then we have Laurel Kolpakowski, who is another player I quite like. Again, very speedy, but no real offensive firepower there. His defense and physical are fine. Then obviously we have Biz Nasty, who probably not going to get a game for us, if I'm being honest. Right wing, we have pretty much 4 right wingers for every line. We'll go Babala, Erat, Doan and Moss. Maybe not necessarily in that order. We'll have Babala as the first choice for the sniper. Yeah, Babala and Ribeiro need to be on the line, and that will be our first line. And Erat and Doan are interchangeable. I'm probably more likely to stick Doan ahead of Erat, depending on where we want him. Erat's a lot better skating though, so that's something we need to consider. And Moss is a bottom 6 forward for us. A very good bottom 6 forward for us, but a bottom 6 forward nonetheless. Then going on to defense, obviously we have Ekman Larsson and Keith Yandel. We have McCulloch, Morris, Michael Stone, David Slemko. We also have in the system Brendan Gormley, who apart from Ekman Larsson is our best prospect. Then it's Max Domi. So considering how much we'd have to give up to get some offensive prowess, I think I'd rather draft offense and trade for defense, because we can definitely improve on Derek Morris, and then Stone, Slemko and Gormley, one of those could be traded for an offensive prospect perhaps. And obviously in goal we have Mike Smith. Quickly look at the prospects. We've only really got 3 players with 4 stars and above. They are Max Domi, Brandon Gormley, who I've already mentioned, and Mark Vistinen as a goalie, who could be our goalie of the future. And then we have a few decent prospects, but nothing exceptional. So there definitely need to address some things. If we just go ahead and check, it'll tell us the top defensive players. Yeah, so Doan and Hansel will go on the line with possibly Erat, to be fair, and that can be our third line. It's a pretty solid third line. And obviously our defensive players, Brandon Gormley's up there with Hansel. So got a lot of players that are our top, are in the top 8 repetitively, which isn't a bad thing, but they're not exactly outstanding players, apart from Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson is going to be the captain and leader of this team as soon as Doan decides he doesn't want to play anymore. I do know who I want to draft. This will go to the OHL for 6 weeks, because it's obvious who the best prospects are in the first year or so. There's not really much point in trading any of those, so let's go have a proper look at the lines as they currently stand. If we do the best lines, this is what it gives us: Erat, Hansel and Babada, Bodka, Ribeiro and Doan, Kopkowski, Vermette, Moss, Bissonnette, Chipchura and Halpern. So like I say, Biznowski probably not going to get any ice time. I'll stick McMillan in there as well. So, like I say, some decent depth. We just don't have. If we had a decent or first line of 86 overall, I'd be happy with this team. I'm not unhappy with it. There's some bits to work with, but the foundation is solid. But we need more than a solid foundation, I feel. So we would go. What's the first line we said? It was Ribeiro, Hansel, and Antoine Vermette, and then Bodka, Hansel with... We'll try Martin Erat, because I think he is listed as a slightly more offensive player, and he's a bit quicker as well, which will help Hansel out, especially with Mikhail Bodka. And we're going to have Doan, Korpakowski, and we'll go McMillan so he can grow, and then also we have Halpern, Chipchura, and David Moss. So the right wing is pretty set. Left wing slightly weaker, but I do like the centres for now. And obviously, if we really want to, or we get a better left winger, we can have it like that. But for now, I think this is probably the best way to go about it. Yeah, we've only got one playmaker. That's a little bit concerning. Defensively, I'm just going to do that. I think I'm going to send down Slemko and bring up Gormley, actually. Or is that going to stunt Gormley's growth? Well, we can send down Murray. Well, Gormley is listed as a top 6, and so is Slemko. So we will bring up Gormley because he can play there, and I don't want to risk him regressing. I think we can give him some power play time, he will still grow. But Slemko can be traded in that respect now. And obviously in goal we have Bryson Smith. So we'll have Stone and Gormley down there and play Gormley on the power play. I'll sort these out properly once we make a few moves. If indeed we do need to make moves. We really do. I'm not sure what moves they are, but moves need to be made. I think just looking at it, I want to get another top defensive defenseman and either get rid of Morris and move McCulloch down, so replace Ekman Larsson's defensive partner. Bottom pair is fine, and then that pair is good as well. So Morris needs to go, and then obviously if we can find another, if we could get rid of Erat or even Korpikoski for a playmaker for the second line, I would prefer that. So we have a sniper playmaker two-way forward on each line, and then we can either swap people around if needs be. But I think replacing Erat for a playmaker might be a good idea, even though he's not too bad of a playmaker himself. But he will start regressing fairly soon. So let's go have a look at some of these players. We haven't got enough cap room to sign anyone after free agency. I don't think there's any decent free agents available at the moment anyway. Wait at Volsky. We have enough of his type of player. So now any moves we make will come from trade negotiations. So let's have a look at our trade block to see if their needs match ours. A little bit. Right, I want draft picks. I want a little bit younger for him, and I want him to have decent puck skills. There should be a few. Yes, there is a few players here. Good. I have some options here. Yes, I like some of these options that I'm just looking at quickly. Some nice young players like Brendan Gallagher. Technically a two-way forward, but someone... Yakupov could play as a playmaker, but there's options. There are options to go and pursue. David Ferrance listed as a two-way forward. Oh, Gustav Nyquist. That would be very nice. I would enjoy having Nyquist on our team, so that Nyquist is definitely an option. We should actually go get Sam Gardner and just bring him to the team he's now on. That's an option. I'll take that off though, just so we don't limit our searching too much. Apply that. I think it's just brought us the same players anyway. There's a few more people in there, but mainly the same players. What was it? It was a defense. We'll go top 4 because top 2 is going to be too hard to try and get. Again, we'll go to 28. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, there's plenty of options here. She's got the lowest trade value. Yeah, someone like Mazzaros. Or even, yeah, Jason Demers would be quite nice to go and get. So, getting a defender shouldn't be too hard for us. Getting a forward might be a little bit trickier, but I'm sure we'll find someone. And we want some prospects. I would very much appreciate a few more prospects that we can use. So what are we willing to give away? Alright, any forward over the age of 30 and any defenseman over the age of 30. Picks, that's fine. Players on the block. I don't want to give off any firsts. Shane Doan won't fetch much. Right. Erat was on there. What was this? Derek Morris was the other one. There he is. And what would you say? It's David Slemko was the other one that we're going to try and get rid of. Because we have Gormley and Slemko are basically the same players, apart from Slemko's a few years older. Wow, Slemko has no trading value. Really? Oh wow. I'll try and get rid of David Slemko then. What was Brandon Gormley's trade value? Oh, that's a lot better. No, but he's going to be a good defender. We won't get rid of Gormley. Gormley would be too good for us. Well, Korpikoski is kind of getting pushed out in our plan, so we can stick him on the trade block. Okay, so we'll commit to that. We will skip a day and then go and have a proper look at the trade market. We need 38 wins. I'm not going to go ahead and make any trades, just have a look at some trades that could be made. So, on Anaheim, who are they willing to give away? Older players, Boston. We get some prospects from Boston. Boston have got a defender I'd quite like to get in, Dougie Hamilton. Doesn't really fill our need now. If we get 38 wins, was that realistically going to get us into the playoffs? Because I think we can meet that 38 wins total and still have a good season and then maybe not make the playoffs. So don't think we need to get a like-for-like player for Derek Morris. If we can go a little bit worse, wouldn't mind going a little bit better, but if the value's not there, we can go worse. Right, I want someone who's quite young, so they've still got a bit of potential. Lucas Spiza, what's wrong with you? What's your durability like? 85, that's not too bad actually. Still got a little bit of growing as well, so Spiza could be an option. Justin Falk would be very nice. That would be incredibly nice to have. And I think moving up here, we're getting a little bit too far out of our range. Well, definitely, for some reason, Michael Del Zotto is too far out of our range. Shattenkirk probably is as well. Yeah, I would love to get Kevin Shattenkirk, but we probably could get Kevin Shattenkirk if we traded Yandel and another thing, but I think that's giving up too much. So we're looking at a Spiza and Falk realistically. Any playmakers in here? Stafford, no. Johansson is a playmaker, I remember that. The Marcus Johansson wouldn't be too hard to get. Christopher Stieg is a sniper, a little bit too old. Hornquist, nah. I quite like the idea of getting Marcus Johansson in. 2 years left at a decent price. Point every other game, that's alright. Or we can get Brendan Gallagher in. Anyone on the left wing that we fancy? Oh, it was Gustav Nyquist, wasn't it? Oh, I like the idea of Nyquist. Let's just have a quick look at what Nyquist could cost us. Obviously, they don't want to get rid of him. Oh, I didn't check what draft picks you have. That's not too bad. And they want a few things I'm willing to give up. I'm willing to give up Slemko, but that's not going to cover it. What's Michael Stone? I don't think Michael Stone's going to get a hell of a lot better than that. And considering we have Gormley and Slemko, I think we can do that trade. I'm not sure if it'll go through, but I think that could be the basis of the trade. Michael Stone for Gustav Nyquist. Do love Nyquist's contract as well. Well, that was an interesting voice correction. I don't think that trade will go through, even though it looks as though Michael Stone has extra trade value, but we did say we could get rid of one of these two players. So which one would we rather have? Out of Jeff Halpern or Carl Chipchura? I'm gonna say Chipchura. I'd rather keep Chipchura because he is signed for 3 years, so he would help for 3 years. But Halpman's got better face-offs. It's tricky. Don't want to get rid of McMillan. Don't really want to get rid of Slemko as we're getting rid of Stone. We'll try Chipchura because you can always sign depth. There's the problem. Which one of you guys has got the better upside? Not really anyone. We'll take a risk on you. I don't think that trade would go through, to be fair. Nah, I don't think it would. Are they still interested in getting rid of Anthony Manford? They always are. I don't get that's really broken about this game. I wouldn't get rid of Anthony Manford. Is there anyone worth trying to pick up? Not really anyone that I think is going to be a superstar. Thomas Jurko might be. Obviously, we have Anthony Manford. Manford would be very nice. Even though I've not selected Manford, right. So it's Gustav Nyquist and Anthony Manford. Stone covers Nyquist. We've got some 2 nice goalies that could probably be traded. Burke covers Manford. But I need to give them another player, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. And if we're getting Manford, then Manford's a right winger, isn't he? This rider guy could go in the opposite direction. You know what, I'm going to try and see if this trade goes through, and if they say yes, fantastic. I don't think it will. So Stone and Ryder just about cover Nyquist. Manford is covered by Braden Burke, I think. We might have to add a pick or something, but let's see what they say. Oh no, I doubt anyone will think Detroit came out with the short end of the stick with this trade, so it's a done deal. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I think our first move as the GM of the Phoenix Coyotes is a good one. So obviously we get Manford, who's instantly our best forward prospect, and then it's Max Domi, so that's good. Bissonnette, we'll keep Bissonnette there. So Manford can go down. We'll send him to the juniors. That's fine. He's not really going to feature in our plans for this year. We got Slemko, and we have that playmaker we were looking for in Gustav Nyquist, without having to get rid of Martin Erat either. So we can still go ahead and trade Martin Erat later on. We've weakened our defence a little bit at the moment, not massively, because Slemko can still get better and Gormley's going to get better. We are looking to improve Morris. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. And for the moment, it means that Carl Chipchura is going to be scratched as we bring in Gustav Nyquist. Might need a... we don't need a reshuffling of the lines, do we? I don't. I'll do it quickly. And then people can tell me if these lines are wrong. So, looking like Korpikoski is going to be on that 4th line. Stick Nyquist there. If we have a quick look and compare Nyquist to Ribeiro, I think Nyquist can stay on that 2nd line with Hansel and Bodka. Going to stick Nyquist on his natural wing. Bodka can come in and off his left hand. And then we have Vermette, Ribeiro, and Vabada. That is very nice. Very nice. Or we can even just do this if we really want Nyquist to grow. But I like the idea of having 2 first lines that are basically the same. So, there you have it. The first move that we have made as the GM of the Phoenix Coyotes is to go ahead and trade for Gustav Nyquist and Anthony Manford from the Detroit Red Wings. I don't think anyone's going to disagree that we probably got the better of that deal there. Possibly gave up a good goalie prospect, but I think we get 2 exciting prospects because Nyquist is still fairly young. What is he? He's 24. He's going to be around an 85 playmaker for us. That's fine. He fills the need that we wanted. He helps our offense out straight away. He's got good discipline. He's not terrible defensively. I think when you couple that in with the fact that we now have Max Domi and Anthony Mantha coming up in the wings, that's just going to help immensely. If we can get a sniper prospect as well, we are going to be set for that future first line. And I think if we check, we have a couple of prospects, so I'm alright with that. We had 2 prospect goalies, so we got rid of one of them. But, you know, as long as I won't get rid of Mark Vistinen now. We will keep both of them. But let me know what you guys think of that trade. Was I going for this right type of player? Didn't want to give up too much, and now we can still go ahead and try and sign a good defenseman like Justin Falk, trading Martin Erat for him. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Let me know if you guys are. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.